Oh, hello! Welcome to my kitchen, everybody. You came just in time. We're actually gonna do a pork loin roast tonight, Gorden Ramsay style. It's supposed to be pretty ridiculous. I got most of the stuff prepped out, so have a seat. We're about to enjoy some dinner. This thing, I've been looking at it for quite some time. I've been a little intimidated by it. It's a pork loin roast. I literally bought like 10 pounds of it earlier this week, chopped it up proper, I let it brine, did all these things with it, and now I got this beautiful loin roast to tackle. This is gonna be interesting. So I looked up Gorden Ramsay recipe, parsley, a little sage, garlic, lemon zest, a bunch of fun stuff. I said, let's do it. So let's try it today. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I'm gonna eat it one way or the other, so come on, let's be honest. To start off with, you're gonna wanna prep your herbs. You have parsley. You could do flat leaf or you could do curly. I like the curly, it seems to last a little bit longer, but what you're gonna wanna do, rip it off the stem and rip as much of that stem off as you can. Try to do the same thing with the sage. Also, you're gonna take the garlic. It really depends on how much garlic you like, but we really like garlic in this household. We ended up doing like 10 cloves, and I think it's probably more. We probably just lost count because of the white wine. Chenin Blanc, pretty good actually on the side. You basically wanna crush it, get all that skin off, you're gonna peel it, you're gonna take little slices of it. And this is kinda like the oddball. Now, Gorden Ramsay basically just chucks it directly into the meat, which I'm gonna show you in a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is actually cook it beforehand just a little bit. It just kind of ensures that some of that acrid, bitter note is gonna be stripped off right from the beginning. So to start off with, you're gonna wanna make sure that your knife is nice and honed. Sharpened if you can. If not, just make sure you do this a couple times because we're gonna score the outside of this beauty. So basically what you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna score this fat cap on the top. Once it goes in the oven at high temperature, this is gonna crisp up ridiculous like. You literally just want the fat portion. You don't wanna get any of that like lean protein down there. Give it a nice little slicey slice. You're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 450. Check. Next in line, you're gonna wanna get your garlic in that pan. Saute it up a little bit. A cool move that I found out, binging with Babish told me, put the garlic in, put a little bit of olive oil in, and then start the heat. Okay, so this is one of the scary parts over here, because basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice into this, and then we're gonna open up, increase the surface area. So let's get at it. This is the one scary part, because this is the part that you can mess up on, but we're about to find out one way or the other. We gotta explore a little bit over here. So I would say cut this into thirds and then start with the bottom third first. Ooh, that was a pretty nice slice. You want to delicately get through this. Surgical with that thing, Jake. If you ever seen Training Day. That goes out to my boy Greg. I mean, this is not looking too bad, actually. So now what you're gonna wanna do is basically open this thing up like a pamphlet almost. So you got one of the things going, you're gonna wanna split it into the next 2/3. So split this last piece that you have in half. Ooh, the doctor. Is that surgery? All right, so don't let the garlic go too much. You literally just wanna kind of start it off and get some of those intense flavors out right from the beginning. We're gonna reserve this on the side, but get it off the heat for sure. Now that we have this all open, we gotta stuff it. Let's put some good stuff in there. Wait, did you say good stuff? Oh, I said good stuff. Regardless, whoever said it, you know? All right, so you're gonna wanna stuff this thing, get all the goodies on the inside, start off with the lemon zest. So get your zester out and start going to town. You're gonna wanna get all the yellow off, leave the pith, you don't want that. Get some color in there, and that's gonna taste awesome later. Lemon and sage, always a classic combo. I like to take the zest from 2 lemons. Totally up to you on how much citrus you want, but this is a big hunk of meat, so try to account for that. So with stuffing this thing, you're gonna wanna throw that parsley in there too. That's gonna add that awesome herbaceous tone to it. If you wanna go a little salt bay, you do that. I ain't flexing, shake an arm, you know? And then throw that sage on top too. Woo, let me tell you, the smell of this is something special. I actually don't have too much experience cooking with sage, but I love to mix it in wherever possible. I know it's really good with poultry. I think it's really good with pork too. Well, we're about to find out, right? And you can set this up any way that you want. Me, my OCD's kicking in, so I like to go straight lines, but you can literally just salt bait the whole time if you want. But what I like to do is leave a little space on the side, because when you roll this stuff up, it's gonna inevitably push some of the stuff out. So you're gonna wanna leave a little working envelope for that to happen. Plan ahead, right? So now the garlic should be ready to go. We're just gonna take some of that excess oil and just drizzle it right on top. Try to spread it out evenly. Oof, and that smells so good. I could do this all day. Now once the oil is off, you're gonna wanna distribute this garlic appropriately. And even though I thought I went overboard with the garlic, I feel like I could have used some more. Now, just keep in mind that I brine this beforehand. You don't have to do that, but any kind of pork product, especially if it's lean, I like to brine beforehand. It kind of imparts this beautiful like salinity in every single bite. If you just season the top, you're gonna get all those tasty parts on the outside, but the inside, it's gonna be a little bland. Brining overcomes all that. So we basically finished up the seasonings. I'm just throwing a little bit of salt because I know these herbs need a little bit of love on them, and a little bit of pepper, because I love pepper, but my girl really loves pepper. So we're gonna make her happy. The next thing in line, we're actually gonna roll it, we're gonna tie it off, and we're getting it all pretty and ready to go for the oven. And basically you're gonna wanna tie this thing off. Now literally you could do like you're tying your shoes type thing, but instead of making like the rabbit ears at the end, do a double knot and you're all good to go. Cut off the ends, you're all set. As of late, I'm trying to learn this like butcher's knot thing. So it's working out in some cases, in other cases it's not, but either way, we're gonna give it a try, because that's what we do here. We evolve, we grow. Can't stay in a comfort zone. We gotta push our limits wherever we can. So basically just snip it off and get it ready to go. All right, and then when you're all done, you should have this beautiful roulade or roll. And you got all those beautiful flavors stuck in between. You got this thing nice and oiled up. And then we're gonna throw it in the oven at 450. Ooh, this thing is ready to rock. So get it out of that pan because it's pretty hot in there right now. Put on a little wire rack for a second, let some of those pan drippings drip down, and consider maybe making that into a sauce, but that's for another day. Put it on the cutting board. Let's cut some of those strings and dissect this bad boy. All right, baby, moment of truth. Let's get this thing out, slice it into a couple portions. It's just me and my girl, so let's do this maybe 4 ways. So I'm gonna slice it here in the middle, just to kind of do a little marker. And I like the serrated knives, that's the way to go. So here, half of that would be here. Let's rock it. Oh yeah, so basically get your cuts going. I'm gonna do 4 cuts over here. We're gonna have some leftovers. Oh baby. Oh baby. I don't even know what to do right now. This is insane. This is insanity. I can't believe I did this. I was always talking about it, never did it. But look at that garlic. Like the garlic seemed like it would be undercooked if I didn't actually go through that pre-cooking process. So I'm so happy we went through that. Oof. You ready for this? Ooh, let's jump into this right now. I mean, I don't know if I can wait much longer. Oh, I hear that crunchiness right there. Try to get a little bit of the layers, so you see some green in there. You see that garlic, obviously. Try to get a little bit of the crunchies. A little bit of everything. Like that sage really sings with that pork. Garlic, you know I love that. Give me those crispy ends. I could literally eat those crispy ends by themselves and be a happy man. I probably would only live to like 40, but I'd be really happy for those 40 years, let me tell you. Whoa! So I watched that Ramsay video and it says high heat. High heat is kind of questionable, so I did 450 for 45 minutes. It's a little bit much. I would do 450 for 30 minutes next time. Get yourself a thermometer, stick it in it, and I think you would be a little bit more juicy at the end of the day. But let me tell you, pretty awesome. When you're trying something new, you might not hit it the first time. This is the first time I'm trying this. You know, I'm honest with you guys. Could have been better. So, our problem was the pork was overcooked just a tad. What am I gonna do? Take the pan drippings, throw a little bit of butter on top, and then basically ladle that right on top of the pork. I think with that, you're gonna be just fine. All right, so really at the end of the day, this is overcooked, but it's still really, really good, especially with that little backup that I had going on with that butter sauce. Pretty awesome. That's the beauty of cooking. Keep trying something different, keep pushing your limits. Before you know it, you're gonna be incredible. You already are incredible, but let's be more incredible. Regardless, I'm gonna eat this thing right now off the cutting board because I'm starving. You guys, thanks for tuning in. You know the deal. You keep watching, because I'm gonna keep hunting. And I'll see you soon, right?